This video is the property of MBKP International. I'm just going to go over a few of the problems you may have when you unpack your machine. This will help you resolve any issues that you may be having when you first take your machine out of the crate. First of all, this emergency stop button will usually be pressed in when you first unpack your machine. If you just twist it clockwise, it pops back out and your machine will turn on. Second problem you may have is your measurement may be off. The way to get your measurement back in place is just press this proof read button. When you press that, the paper guide will go all the way to the back and calibrate itself. You see it moves to the back and it'll move forward. After it does that, it knows exactly where it's located at. Another issue you may ever have is we'll take off this part. This part just pulls off by pulling it straight out towards you. And it locks in place. A lot of times you might have to get a screwdriver in there to pry it out, but once you pull this out, it's easy enough to get out. Set it to the side. This belt is a wearable belt. You may have to replace this belt at times. If you ever replace this belt, you will have to hit your proof read button to recalibrate the machine. It's easy enough to pull this belt off by taking out, or not even taking these screws out. You just loosen these 4 screws right here. This motor will come up to give you enough slack to be able to put a new belt on there. Each one of these machines does come with 2 belts. That way you can replace your belt if you need to. We also keep these belts in supply if you ever have to buy another one. Other issues you may have if you ever need to make other small adjustments is this part would come off right here. Here again, I took the screws off of this to get this off a little quicker. Took the screws off of this table right here just to get back here. The one thing I want to mention is when you press the proofread button, this is your sensor right here for the proofread button to calibrate it so it knows where it's at. You might be able to see it there on the video. You also have adjustments here for squaring your paper if your paper's coming off a little bit. You got these 2 screws here. You got 2 little hex screws right in here that you can get it to. And you also have a screw right here that you can do slight little adjustments so you can get your paper completely square if it's ever out of whack. The last adjustment I want to talk to people about is adjusting the blade. A lot of times if you sharpen your blade gets a little bit shorter, so you may be stuck in a situation where you're not able to, the blade doesn't come all the way down, might not cut the last 3 pieces of paper. One way to do it is after you put your blade in, you have these screws right here. What you do is you loosen each one ever so slightly. All these screws all the way across the blade. You don't want to do it to the point where the blade falls out. You just want to do it to where it's a little bit loose. And then you have 3 adjustment screws right here. Another one is right here. It's kind of behind this little bar right here. It's easy enough to get to. If you take off these 2 screws right here on this bar will fall forward and you can adjust all 3 of these screws. Basically, you just want to do small adjustments here. Once you do these adjustments, tighten down these screws for your blade again to keep it tight in there. Give it a try and make sure it cuts all the paper all the way through. Again, this video is the property of MBKP International.